Chronic constipation and pelvic organ prolapse go hand in hand, and not a lot of people understand that. Before we go there, let's talk about what constipation is, because a lot of people don't understand that either. A lot of my clients think that they're not constipated because they have a bowel movement every day. Meanwhile, they're straining, or they can't get everything out, or they have the little rabbit pellets on a daily basis. And these could be signs that you're constipated. So as we digest our food, it travels through our colon and our intestines and comes through what's called the rectum, or the organ that lives in the back of your pelvic floor. And if you're like, well, Mel, that's great. What the hell does this have to do with prolapse? I'm so glad you asked. Chronic constipation could stem from a variety of sources, including a tight pelvic floor or gastrointestinal issues, or a combination of both. If you're trying desperately to get that poop to come out of here, like you feel like you have to go and it's just not coming, you're probably pushing really hard while you're on the toilet, and you're probably holding your breath while you're doing that. What happens is all of that effort is pushing down onto the organs in your pelvic floor, and thus your pelvic floor. And sometimes your pelvic floor does not have the strength or the endurance to combat this. So what happens over time with all that pushing, all that pressure, the pelvic floor weakens because it's just too much of a demand placed on it. And this will affect the entire muscle group. So it stems from the back all the way up through the front. So it's a sling. It's not just here. It's this entire thing, and why constipation affects it. Pelvic floor becomes weak over time. It's not the best at supporting these organs. So this is where we could see things like rectocele, uterine prolapse, cystocele, and rectal prolapse possibly creep in. You have prolapse, pushing through that constipation literally could be making your symptoms feel worse. So what are we gonna do about it? First thing is invest in a squatty potty if you can. If you don't have the means to do that, you can use yoga blocks or books to prop your feet up while you're sitting on the toilet, or turn your garbage pail over and put your feet on the garbage pail. The goal is to get your knees above your hips. This helps open and relax the pelvic floor, and your feet should always be flat when you're going to the bathroom. We're also never pushing for dear life where veins are popping out of your forehead and you're turning purple. So while you're sitting there, you're going to imagine your abs filling up with air on an inhale, and then exhale all of the air out without engaging anything. The inhalation helps relax the pelvic floor, and the exhalation can help move things through so that they come out a little bit more easily. Also gonna stay hydrated. A lot of people think that they're hydrating because they drink like 3 bottles of water, and they're probably underhydrated, especially in the summer as things get hot. So the rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, it's 100 ounces of water, and this is the minimum. So if you're working out, depending on the elevation you live in and a variety of factors, it might increase, but the minimum should be half your body weight in ounces of water. This helps with digestion and moving things through, and it also gives your pelvic floor a little bit of nutritional support. Finally, the step that almost all of my clients forget is that you need a good mix of soluble and insoluble fiber in your diet. Want good consistency to your stool so that you're reaping the benefits of the nutrients you're taking in. And we also want motility, so the ability for that stool to move through your digestive tract and come out easily without having to push it out. And I always forget which type of fiber does what. That's why I'm not a registered dietitian, but my girl Erin is an RD. She's amazing at what she does. I'm gonna drop her tag in the caption below, so make sure to give her a follow. And this is not an exhaustive list on what to do if you're chronically constipated, but it is a good start to get the ball rolling on the easier things that you can tackle. This is always a practice. It's not gonna come within a week or possibly a month, but good practice builds good habits. Let me know what questions you have.